Good morning, everyone. Happy Thursday, and welcome to Healthcare Heroes Self-Care Moment. This is Nicole Traum. I'm here for Lee Health this morning, sharing with you some movement, some mindfulness, some meditation, some breath, so that we can feel a little bit better in our bodies as we move through this trying time. So today what we're going to start with is just a big stretch, because I want to start by just like opening up this space of the heart. We're talking about really abiding in our heart this week, really finding that place of feeling that connection to our heart center and our heart space. So take your arms up and just stretch them out wide. Make a big V here. You can bring your thumbs up here and just start to turn your head side to side. Start to breathe into the upper corners of your chest. Good morning. If you're watching, you can tell me where you're watching from today. Breathe into the upper back behind your heart center. Good. And just feel yourself here moving and breathing. You can come to stillness with your head. Just continue to breathe into that space of your heart. The heart center, breathing in and out. Good. One more deep breath together. Just a nice big inhale and a nice big exhale, and then come all the way out and start to feel how everything starts to settle. So when we think about that space of our heart, good morning, we think about so kind of like those like touchy-feely kind of things, right? We get those good emotions. Maybe we've experienced heartbreak, and so we know what that feels like. But connecting to that place of our heart really has a lot to do with feeling worthy. And for most of us, we don't really connect to that. And during these times when it is very stressful, right, that worthiness, like it seems like it's more amplified, right? Well, I'm not doing this right, and I'm not getting up and doing this, and I'm not, schooling my kid well enough, or I'm not, doing my job well enough, or I'm not expanding where I need to expand. And these fears, right, we talked about fear yesterday, they start to rise up and make us feel less and less worthy. But I'm here to tell you today that worthiness really is already there. So as we meditate, as we become more mindful, we remember. Just like we talked about yesterday, we let ourselves remember that there is a worthiness deep within. So as we move today, we're going to open up that space so that we can connect to that feeling, to that sense. And it's okay if you don't feel it right away, right? We have to practice it because we forget, right? We've got a lot of other things that we think have more priority than ourselves, right? So taking this time for self-love to remember how worthy we are, no matter what we do or don't do, is really important part of our mindfulness practice. So just take your right arm up now, stretch it up, and then as you exhale, you can bring your elbow down. So what we'll do is we'll move in a way that can start to open this space physically. So inhale and exhale, squeezing your elbow in. 3 more. Inhale and exhale. Opening and closing. Good. Last one. And then just hold that elbow in and squeeze it back and back, back and back. One of the ways that we kind of close off the space of our heart is in a very literal physical sense. So come on out. And you'll notice, right, when we get overwhelmed, we just want to come into this, I call it like the fetal position, right? You want to curl in, which is a really great way to turn within and become more introspective, but it also shuts down this space for energy to move in and out. So as we move our shoulders back and start to work these muscles, right, because they're used to being like this, we have to open them up, then we can allow ourselves to find more of that flow of energy. So let's stretch the left arm up now. Big inhale, and then as you exhale, squeeze that elbow back. So inhale, stretching up, and then exhale, hugging it back. Inhaling and exhaling. So just feeling the side of the body stretching, feeling your arm, your shoulder. Good. Let's do 2 more. Perfect. And then keep that elbow there and just start to squeeze it back and back. Back and back. Think about opening the front of the chest, opening the shoulders, that space behind your back. Good. And then come on out and roll your shoulders onto your back. Good. And then we're going to inhale our arms up. We're going to grab our right wrist with our left hand. and just start to reach it up and over to the left. Make sure that this elbow doesn't and this shoulder doesn't come forward. So roll it back a little. As you breathe, you can press down with your feet in the floor. Good. And then come on up and switch sides. So now it'll be your left wrist with your right hand. Bring it up and over to the right. Make sure those shoulders stay back. Press down through your feet as you breathe. Create a little more space in the side body. That's it. One more deep breath here. Good. And then come on out and roll your shoulders onto your back again. So just kind of noticing here that space. As you come out of these poses, maybe you feel a little bit of warmth, a little bit of blood flow coming into all these different places. And that's important because it starts to bring more awareness there as well. So now bring your arms up, elbows up to shoulder height. Press down with your feet. We're going to inhale and twist to the right and exhale as you twist to the left. So just getting a little bit of movement in here. Side body stretching. You're going to feel it back behind your ribs. It's a really tight spot for most of us. And just feel all the way up behind your shoulder blades to start to move. So we're warming up those muscles. Good. And then let's do 2 more. So inhale and exhale. Good. Twisting and twisting. And then as you come on out, you can just start to move your head in a slow circle. And take a few moments here to just turn within. As you move, this should feel really good. As you do this movement, just begin to breathe a little deeper to allow yourself to connect right where you are. If there's a spot that's particularly tight, you can linger there. Sometimes I have to linger like this because this part of my neck hurts, right? So I breathe into it and then I just continue on. And you can even notice here, you can pause and change your direction. So just evening things out. Thinking about where are you feeling unworthy? I know I've had discussions with a lot of my girlfriends lately and it's like, well, I feel like I'm just getting by, right? I'd feel more worthy if I accomplished more, or if, I felt like I was going somewhere bigger with my job, or maybe my kids were doing better at home, right? All these things come up because we think there has to be some sort of goal for worthiness, right? But worthiness, again, we talk about it before, it is already within us. And when we move into this place of our heart, we remember that. A lot of us are givers, right? Especially when we think about healthcare workers here. We're moving from a job in which we're giving, right? We're giving. But that energy needs to be balanced out. So we'll let ourselves receive it. Moving is going to help with that. Breathing is going to help with that. And then letting ourselves really just receive it in a quiet stillness will also bring in that place. So bring your right knee in and just hug your knee in as you sit tall. Good. You can sit up a little bit taller. Good. And then take your hand behind your leg and just start to stretch your leg out and bring it in. Let me do it this way. Just straightening that leg and bending it in. Stretching and bending. Pressing out through your leg. That's it. Let's do 2 more. And then come on out and you can switch sides. So I'll turn this way. You're going to hold on. Just start by holding on in front of your knee as you sit tall. And sit, feeling yourself lengthening. Maybe hugging the knee in a little bit more. Good. And then from there, you can bring your hands behind your thigh. Keep your spine nice and long and just inhale as you stretch your leg long. Exhale as you hug it in. Good. Just lifting and lowering here. Stretching and bending. 2 more. My knees are crackling this morning. Hopefully I'm not the only one with that. Good. And then as you come on out, just start to rock your weight side to side. And as you breathe, think about breathing and expanding. We did that jellyfish breath last week. Feel yourself expanding with your inhale and then softening with your exhale. Good. One more deep breath. Good. All right, from here now, we're going to come up to standing and we're going to use the chair, so like the higher part of the chair, or you can even bring your arms up to the wall and I'll show you that. So come on up to standing and I'm going to turn my chair to the side so you get a better view of what exactly we're doing here. So first we'll do a down dog. We've done this before. You're going to bring your hands on top of the chair and just walk yourself back. You want your arms straight. Let's go like this. Your arms straight and your legs straight. and just start to breathe here. You can rock your hips side to side so you get a little space there. Lift your armpits a little. You can let your ears come in line with your arms and just feel that nice stretch. Breathe into that space behind your heart. Good. Let's take 2 more deep breaths here, just stretching. You can press into, so if your hands are on the wall, you're just going to press into the wall. Try not to get your hands any lower than where your hips are. And then let's walk all the way in. All right, now what we'll do is we're going to come and bring our elbows either onto the chair, or you can just bring your forearms to the wall. So I'm going to come in with my elbows on the chair here and start to walk back. Now, a lot of times you're not going to have a huge range of motion here, so honor where you're at. This is really just going to start to fire up those muscles up behind the shoulders, behind that heart space, and then from there you can start to soften. My legs are straight. I have a little bend in them so I can really reach my hips back. I'm just breathing here. If that's too intense, you can grab onto your elbows and just bend them, right? Just hold them there, whatever works. And I'm breathing up into that space behind my heart, all the way down into the low back. If you want, you can bend and straighten your legs a few times. That's it. Let's do 3 more rounds of breath here. Big stretch. Good. And then we'll walk ourselves back in nice and slow and come all the way back in to our seat. All right, so come and take a comfortable seat and just kind of notice how nice that feels in your shoulders. You can stretch your arms out nice and wide and start to turn your head. Just feeling nice opening there. That's it. Perfect. And as you come back now, we're going to come back and take a comfortable seat. So if you need to make any extra movement, as I was thinking of all this, good morning, I was thinking of Brené Brown, and I know a lot of you are familiar with Brené Brown. I got this book a really long time ago, actually. This was like my first Brené Brown book. Maybe it was like 2008. And it doesn't seem like that long ago, right? 2008. But this was my first introduction to the idea. And her thoughts are, this book is called The Gifts of Imperfection, and letting go of who you think you're supposed to be, embracing who you are. Really good book, really great. And she talks about in here, the greatest challenge for most of us is believing that we are worthy right now, right this minute. Worthiness doesn't have prerequisites. So many of us have knowingly created, unknowingly allowed, been handed down a long list of prerequisites. And here's just a few that she lists. I'll be worthy when I lose 20 pounds. I'll be worthy if I can get pregnant. I'll be worthy if I can get or stay sober. I'll be worthy if anyone thinks I'm a good parent, or everyone thinks I'm a good parent. I'll be worthy if when I make a living selling my art. I'll be worthy if I can hold my marriage together. I'll be worthy if I can make partner at my law firm. I'll be worthy when my parents finally approve. I'll be worthy when he calls me back or she calls me back. I'll be worthy when I can do it all and look like I'm not even trying. That last one, whew, right? So the worthiness, right? That self-love it's something that should be innate to us, right? But either we've told ourselves a story, or maybe, I like what she said, we were handed down this belief, right? Maybe from our family or from our work or whatever it is, right? So we have to remember, and that's why we move, that's why we breathe, that's why we meditate, so that we can remember that deep love. So as you turn within this morning, you can close your eyes and sit up nice and tall and just think about whatever those stories are that you're telling yourself, like, I'll be worthy if blah, 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 right? And see if you can acknowledge them, number one, but then place them down. Kind of dig through, put them to the side so that you can go a little bit deeper. Remind yourself that you are worthy right now. That there is a deep love that abides within you and all around you. And that you can connect to that by simply just becoming a little bit more aware. Taking the time to take care of yourself. taking the time to dig a little bit deeper, even if it's just one dig a day. So with your eyes closed, just allow yourself to soften into that idea. You can say to yourself, I am worthy right now. I am worthy right now. I am worthy right now. Sometimes when we say that, you can physically feel your body start to flinch, start to harden. So much of this practice of mindfulness is about letting ourselves become more vulnerable, become a little bit softer. Not becoming a doormat, but allowing yourself to be soft enough to also receive, to not just give. And this is the practice here of the givers, right? This is the practice that we need to have. Especially for our healthcare heroes, for those of you that are in professions that are giving. Remembering that you are also worthy, that you also can take the time to slow down, to receive. Let's take 3 more breaths together, just filling up as you inhale, emptying out with your exhale. That's it. Last round of breath. And then start to bring your awareness back to the room, back to your body, back to this moment. Good. You can bring a little movement to your fingers and to your toes and just start to come back here, bringing your hands back in front of your heart. So we honor this practice of really slowing down, of being able to really connect and receive. And so it might overflow. It might become a regular part of our day and our life. We close today and I bow to you. Namaste. This has been Nicole Traum for Lee Health's Healthcare Hero Self-Care Moment. Thank you so much for watching. We'll be back tomorrow for our Friday edition. That's at 6:40 a.m. Or you can catch us on the replay. All right. Thank you guys so much for watching and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.